Listen, you're placing yourself in a box, and that's the problem. Yes, you might not want the retail version of a CBDC because people don't trust it, but that's not the case with a bill that's anti-CBDC. However, that might not make much sense if you're boxing yourself out to a wholesale CBDC, isn't it? Central bank to wholesale CBDC, isn't it? Central bank to bank is what that is. Since most nations, particularly those with large economies, will do the central bank to bank, I don't get that. Instead of doing the retail CBDC, they will do the institutional level. And we'll have to wait and watch how that plays out since we're closing that off. The Ripple Payments Direct 2.0 API Master USD Payments Guide explains how to create identity tokens for AKE real-time payments and wire transfers. To provide you with further background, it appears that they have been making updates to their API identify type, including whether the destination is an individual business, the sender, the beneficiary, or the originator, followed by wire transfer or AKE real-time payments. Here are a few updates that would be amazing to watch. According to Avid, the new DEX broker amendment idea for the XRP ledger projects and builders only charge a fee if their clients' orders are fulfilled and integrated into the current offering and payment processes. Permission DEX with the DEX broker could make a potent combination for bootstrapping the DEX. Here is some more background information. Platforms can now charge fees for DEX orders thanks to this amendment and newly enabled functionalities like credentials and authorization DEX. Only when trades are filled, simulating conventional broking models and allowing exchanges and fintechs to develop viable business models as they construct the XRP ledger, the next financial system. The replacement is similar to traditional broking models, isn't it? One of the largest historical obstacles to institutional adoption and DeFi is removed by the inclusion of on-chain KYC and AML solutions, which permits institutions to participate while satisfying regulatory requirements. With targeting capital flows from banks, payment businesses, asset managers, and regulated trading venues, the XRP ledger frames itself as both open and compliance-focused, with broker fees and permission trading settings as its focal points. Features that further match XRP with the needs of the financial industry include authentication, gated transactions, and the assurance that only verified listed accounts can trade on specific DEX venues. This is getting really great, man. After that, listen to Dominus. Whales have never purchased XRP with such vigor in its history. However, I'm beaming. Additionally, according to Kevin Cage, who uploaded this, blockchain technology is by its very nature international and cross-border. The US and the UK have a great chance to work together more closely on digital assets. The new Transatlantic Task Force is the world's first agreement of this kind in our sector. Whoa, that sounds like magic to me. Coinbase was present, but were there any other people present except the world's biggest financial institutions? Is there anyone else? Okay, let's change direction. According to a Barclays research, the November 2025 ISO 20022 deadline is essential for global payments and cryptocurrency integration. By November, 91% of financial institutions should be prepared. According to Swift, the dialogue between digital and fiat assets will be crucially impacted by ISO 20022's richer data model. Therefore, the November 2025 ISO 20022 deadline marks only the beginning of the payments industry's change rather than its conclusion. It's intriguing to learn about Barclays XRP. Barclays is operating. This text, which discusses the durability of the XRP and Ripple systems, is unquestionably older. Naturally, I recently made a film about the UK's digital ID situation and how Ripple might be involved. I know it's a little different from what I usually do, but if you have the time, I think you should watch that video if you haven't already. All global ID frameworks will soon converge on a single reality. According to this article, they'll be dispersed. The XRP ledger will serve as their anchor, as the only impartial infrastructure regulators can rely on, albeit discreetly under NDAs. Eleanor Turd has another update here, of course. As the House voted last week to retrospectively include the GOP Majority Whip's anti-CBDC bill in the Clarity Act, it appears that the House formally delivered the Clarity Act to the Senate last Thursday, where it was referred to the banking GOP. It appears that the Clarity Act and the anti-CBDC law will be combined. What are my thoughts about this? There is a limit to how much harm you can do to your own bank by blocking out the technology for a certain amount of time. Simply find it fascinating. Additionally, this individual is highlighting Vanguard with this crypto balloon print. Do you recall? I've demonstrated this, man. This was years ago. It was years ago. The Vanguard in the center has a variety of partners. All of them have ties to Vanguard and are Ripple partners. I thought this was fantastic. Do you have Temenos, PNC, HSBC, and CME Group? XRP is the derivative with the fastest growth. Accenture is here, derivative with the fastest growth. Accenture is here for you. American Express is here for you. You have SBI Holdings, SSB, MUFG, and Mizuho Bank. Come on, baby, I mean, isn't everything interconnected? Man, we're all in this little boat together. Alright, first, let's talk about the Casey Krotik post. There we'll meet up with my man Kevin Cage. Krotik, Casey. I wrote about the Downing Street Roundtable earlier this week, which I attended with representatives from the US and UK governments, as well as the financial and cryptocurrency sectors during President Trump's state visit to the UK. The UK-US Transatlantic Task Force for Markets of the Future, a significant new initiative that will strengthen the long-standing and close relationship between the US and UK financial services, was announced. US and UK financial services was announced as a result of this meeting. There will be a chance to unify on stable currencies as the new task force will lead or require greater collaboration between the US and the UK on digital assets. Tokenizations, access to UK on digital assets. Tokenizations, access to international markets, and in establishing the model for global collaboration in our sector. Furthermore, Ripple, a US-based business with a significant presence in the UK, is ideally positioned to use its robust transatlantic footprint to further propel technological innovation in both the US and the UK. Additionally, we are eager to contribute to this task force's efforts. Which task force does Ripple not participate in the UK-US Transatlantic Task Force? The Faster Pay US Transatlantic Task Force, the Faster Payments Task Force, or the BIS Task Force? Anyone? Anyone? I'm holding out. If you know, let me know in the comments. This feels wonderful, man. I enjoy reading this news. How could you have not been ecstatic when you heard this news? I am beaming right now. Jet lag still making me exhausted. $10 trillion in assets are managed. Vanguard is entering the cryptocurrency market. How will this affect the cryptocurrency we now own? Casey Krotik also gives us an update on Ripple and that covert meeting at Downing Street in the US and the UK. We will proceed to discuss the topic. Have a ton of other newsmen about XRP and Ripple as well. We'll also provide an update on the Clarity Act's current and future regulatory status in the US. Now, let's discuss all of this news. Come on, okay? And thus, Eleanor Tarrant, the legendary Eleanor Tarrant. The second largest asset manager in the world, Vanguard provides broking clients with access to cryptocurrency ETFs. Vanguard is getting ready to make cryptocurrency ETFs available on its broking platform. A person with knowledge of the situation claims that the second largest with $10 trillion in assets under management, the mutual fund giant has so far avoided becoming involved in digital assets, choosing instead to take a more cautious approach than its competitors. Charles Schwab. Vanguard has been prepped than its competitors. Charles Schwab. Vanguard has been preparing to have external discussions in response to a changing regulatory landscape and high client demand for digital assets. According to a source familiar with the company's preparations who spoke on condition of anonymity, according to the source, Vanguard does not currently have any intentions to introduce its own products like BlackRock has. However, it is uncertain when the firm would make or finalize the decision. Instead, the firm is thinking about allowing broking customers to access third-party crypto ETFs through the remains. A Vanguard press represent crypto ETFs through the remains. A Vanguard press representative did not reply to calls for comment, but the source claimed that they are taking a very deliberate approach and that they recognize the dynamics have been shifting since 2024. Vanguard has $10 trillion under management and is aware that their clients are eager for this. That's a large number of customers. That sum of money is substantial, and those customers will take that money and go to BlackRock if you don't give them access to the items they want. They will either go to Fidelity or Morgan Stanley. Since you are not providing them with what they desire, they will depart. Because of this, all of these institutions are being forced to begin supplying cryptocurrency